is up, you guys? This is Mini Superheroes Today.
Well, as crazy as it is, the 501st Battle Pack era is pretty much at its end. The set's retiring at the end of 2022, that's the latest rumor anyways, so as one final tribute to this set that has meant a lot to so many people, I did an alternative build. Now, a while back, I did an alternative build, but I bought another copy of the set one final time and dumped all the pieces out and built what you see here. So we've got a little land skiff, we've got a little land speeder, some alternative droids, and a big command post with a giant Gatling gun at the front. So I'll break everything down. I do have to say right off the bat is there aren't instructions for this, so just watch the video very carefully, and if you have a 501st Battle Pack, this isn't a super complex build, but I don't have the capability to make instructions. I don't know how to do that. If somebody wants to help me or, you know, do them for me, I'll put them out there. But yeah, send me an Instagram message if you want to help with that. Anyways, let's break down the build. So the first thing to talk about is this little land skiff, because this is actually where the idea for the entire alternative build came around. So as you can see, our clone troopers are all here together. Everybody survived, but they came under massive attack from a droid army. In fact, they were able to wipe them all out, but it destroyed all of the gear that you saw in the actual 501st Battle Pack. So the story here is that they rebuilt it into this survival outpost so that they can wait until the Republic comes to rescue them. So, of course, we've got our little land skiff here, which is what I'm calling this. You can see that the clone can put 1 foot right in here and then can pilot it from the top, which it will turn the skis as it kind of goes along. So this clone has the binoculars here because he's going out on the field to see if he can find any allies to help them survive, or if he can find any droids to reprogram, which brings us to our next platform here, is the 2 battle droids. I didn't want to just have 2 random battle droids, and my friend Declan from when we were growing up used to rebuild droids like this, where you remove the head and flip the torso, then it looks like they have a little eye. So these are patrol droids that are going to help the clones defend their base. So we've got some reprogrammed droids just like that. And then our other small build is a speeder here. Now, I tried to, you know, model this after Star Wars speeders, what they kind of tend to look like, and it was cool to build one scaled down. If we remove the clone, you can see that he sits on those 2 studs, and we have a little bit of extra space back here. I wish that, you know, things were built in a way that there could be, like, storage for him to, like, bring some stuff back, but unfortunately, with the pieces that we had and trying to keep it proportional to the front and back, that just isn't possible. The one cool thing about this is the skis on the bottom do turn kind of like the other one, so, you know, that could be the direction of this, and we've got the build here, which keeps the nose kind of pushed toward the forward, and I wish that, you know, there was printing on the inside of this, but I envisioned that being like a little computer in there, and then, of course, he's got his main controls right here to drive the speeder. So, as far as the clones go, unfortunately, we don't get enough pieces to, like, modify the clones or anything, so we're going to keep all the minifigures the same as they come in the set, and finally, that brings us to the outpost itself, where there's probably the most to talk about. So, again, the idea was to only use pieces that came in this set, and I thought, all right, if these clones got marooned and they're waiting for the Republic to come rescue them, what kind of place would they build for themselves? So, we'll remove this clone here. You can see that he can hold on to the gun, and the gun can move. It's maybe easier if we look at it straight on. So, you know, he can fire down any droids or enemies that come at them. So, we'll get that clone out of there just so that we can see the space inside better. But we've got all of the clones' guns right here. In my little hypothetical scenario, I'm going to say that the power generator, which is back here, is able to push power through the whole perimeter, and that these guns can be auto turrets. So that's quite cool if you ask me. I'll spin it around, and I like to think that this is kind of like the anchor that's going to keep it in place, because a big gun like this would rattle the whole thing. So I like to think that these are like anchors in the ground to keep the whole base from moving. We've also got these little canopy pieces that can move up. They could maybe be for a shield generator, or maybe they go to the comms unit here to help boost the signal for the Republic to find our forsaken clones. So anyways, the nice thing about this is we've got this big long bracing piece in the center here. Now, Now, of course, it's two 2x6s combined there and kind of held together, but the cool thing about that bracing is it keeps the sides from being pushed in on each other, and it helps keep that kind of circular shape. Now, the thing here, we've got this big button. I like to think that that's like the control button to like maybe make the shield generators come up and put a bubble over it or something. I suppose that's where imagination comes in with this, but we've got some of their blasters recharging right here, and then of course we've got the big giant gun. Now there is still a stud shooter on the end, so you just push that down and it makes the whole gun fall apart. No, but in a perfect world it shoots that stud out just like that. But in this play scene, we actually don't want to shoot that out of there because we're just going to pretend that it's firing bullets. Now, I wanted to build it in a way that the gun could have some ricochet to it as it shoots. So what I had to do was literally just use these two pieces, this rounded piece and this 1x1 stud underneath there, then put it here. It's easier said than done. It is a little bit flimsy, as you can see. It doesn't stay together super well, but by doing that, it allows the gun to slide back and forth, and you can kind of have the gun shoot, and if the clone is really strong, he can shoot it all the way up into the sky. Now, again, I do want to show you how I built that part. Man, it is a little bit flimsy, like I said. So, we took this 2x2 plate and the 1x2 underneath it, and then we've got this bar that runs in between the build of the gun, as you can see here. You can definitely go through and pause the video at different points if you want to see what pieces go where, but this allows the Technic bar that's in between to kind of have some flex. And then I used these 1x1 pieces with the stud facing outward and the open back to go ahead and put that Technic piece in there. Then we load it in here, push that into place, and then put this back on top for a little added security to keep it in place, and then the gun is back to where it is. And of course, we've got to put that stud underneath here so that it can move around. So that's really about all I have to say about the build. One other thing is I put the droid heads there, maybe just kind of as like mementos to the droids that the clones had to kill. We do have some turning stud shooters here, but again, those would be on the circuit with these guns to be kind of like auto turrets to defend the base. And like I said, I think that's all I have to say about the build. It was a lot of fun to do, something a little bit different, and I'll zoom out and give you my final thoughts on this alternative build. All right, guys, well, that's about it for the 501st Battle Pack here on the channel. It was so much fun to live through the hype of this. I feel like, you know, 10, 15 years from now, people are still going to be talking about how epic this set was and how it really kicked off a new era of LEGO just giving us sets that, you know, have different legions of clone troopers. So let me know what you think in the comments down below of this alternative build. Let me know if you've ever tried an alternative build of this, and I'll catch you guys on the next video. Well, you made it to the end of the video. Thanks for hanging out with me today, and don't forget to hit like and subscribe, and maybe check out one of my other videos listed here.